Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Will, and always I'm joined by my good friend, Martin. How you keeping, big man?
I can't complain.
Well,
I'm alive. I'm better than I was yesterday. Christ, I was ill yesterday. I don't even know why.
Nah, wouldn't worry, but like we said, people, the podcast should have been up yesterday. Martin was under the weather, so we held it back for today. But I don't think there was really much else we could have really said regarding SmackDown.
Exactly.
SmackDown did its job with wrestling stories and a better end product than Raw's going home to Royal Rumble. I thought SmackDown done a better job.
Yes, definitely. And it gave us everything we needed. Brawls, an excuse for them not to have an IC match on Sunday. And again, there wasn't really one person where you can go, right, they're winning this Rumble. Everyone's kept surprisingly even. I've
got a funny feeling about somebody now, mate, but I want to keep it Saturday.
Sure.
I've got a funny feeling about somebody. I'd be shocked. It's not a shock. I think the person deserves it more than anybody.
And I think I know who you mean. But we'll find out.
We'll find out on Saturday, but I think you know. And it's kind of... If you're going with SmackDown, it would make sense.
Yes.
It would make sense in the grand stage of things. Whereas Raw, you know for a fact Goldberg's going to win that title. You just know, unless I don't want him to win the Rumble. Fuck off. He's not winning the Rumble. But SmackDown was really, really well done. Especially the Miz Daniel Bryan opening segment. I enjoyed it. It was funny. Even the matches were really good. The Mojo Riley, what the fuck's with this push? What is with this push?
Well, he can cut a promo, which elevates him over about 75% of the SmackDown mid-card.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The guy knows the basics. He's over as hell with live crowds. He's like Zack Ryder without the stank. But the main thing is his promo ability, and they've changed the character so he's not shouting all the time. And since he stopped shouting, he's actually a really, really good promo.
See, I've enjoyed because I wanted to see what you thought of it. I've actually enjoyed the change, like you were saying, because before he came out to the ring, it was like he just drank about 10 Red Bulls.
And he was like going crazy, like some kind of cat that had been put in a cage and shook.
And it wasn't enjoyable. And I enjoyed.
It was good for the kids. No, I don't know if you watched the NXT documentary series.
Oh, I did.
On the network.
I did.
There was that kid that he had struck up a friendship with his family, and in front of everyone after a show, because obviously got their super fans and the kid there to see the wrestlers. He was talking to the kid who had told him he got his report card, and it was just one of the most heartwarming moments, and it won me over to him as a person.
Yeah, I remember
the kids there, and you know, I got the A, and the kid was actually originally going for a B or whatever, and he went crazy for him, how great it was, and he got the crowd chanting, they gave him gifts for it, and you know, there's a teacher, there's a figure and all that, and he didn't need to do that.
No, I remember that episode, dude, and it shows you like the character he is. Now, like, thing with wrestlers, and we've always spoke about this, off-screen characters, we respect. We always respect more. Being like, say, like the podcast we do, and like, say, some of the information we've got to look into. On-screen characters are a different, totally concept. So, like Mojo, you hate the character on screen because it's annoying, but off-screen,
it wasn't really targeted at us either.
No,
as I say.
It's like
that was one for the families, and in particular.
It's like the whole.
That's fine.
It's like the whole John Cena thing. I don't like the character, but off screen's a totally different guy. Just now with John Cena is the best we've seen him since early 2000s. That is like just it feels heelish, but he's not a heel.
Well, Cena's at that point in the career where no matter what he does, he's going to get cheered by both, like kids, women, and those in the know.
Mm-hmm.
The only people booing him are the ones that think they're being cool. The other ones booing him are just they think they're trying to fit in with the smarks. But see, people that understand wrestling,
Yeah,
they're all for it. And of course, we all know he's a merchandise shifting monster of a man.
that's it.
There's a reason he was a face of the company for so long.
I mean, let's be honest. The only person I'd love to see the results now, but the only person who is close might just still be beating him. I'm not too sure. It's not 100%. Is Austin? Cena destroyed Rock in merchandise sales. The Rock was never a big merchandise seller.
The Rock, Stone Cold, at the absolute top of the pile was only a couple of years each. Really. Stone Cold through injuries would have had a slightly longer run, but for those sort of 4 or 5 years he was at the top, he was injured for like at least 2. The Rock, when he truly got the push, when Austin had to step back in about 2000, only about 3 years at the top. Hogan, his run at the top, maybe 84 to about, but when he was truly red hot, 84 to 90, maybe 6 years.
Aye.
And I mean, very red hot, not when he was clinging on to 93 and pulling that bullshit at WrestleMania 9.
Yeah.
John Cena's been there in an unheard of run. This is unprecedented. People don't realise how good they've got it here. That guy has somehow, I don't think it'll ever be repeated, he stayed relevant for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
even though in that time he's maybe changed his character like twice.
It's one of those things, and I don't think a lot of fans don't get it. I genuinely don't think a lot of them get it. I get it. I genuinely get it with John Cena, and like the promo with AJ was the whole thing we were talking about. Keep them separate. Just build it up. Don't even do.
Don't even have them put a hand in one another.
No. Whereas like Roman Reigns,
cheeky finisher the other week.
Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens is constant. It's constant
since October.
And with AJ and Cena, right, fair enough, Cena's been away, but you had the matches with Baron Corbin, which has done well for him. It's really done well for him. And even when he was doing the commentating on the Mojo match, it was actually really good. I was quite surprised how good it was.
It was very amusing because he played to his strength. He's a sarcastic, quiet bastard.
And the whole John Cena thing, that's how you do it. Just do not let them have a match, then you want to see the match.
Aye.
Like I said, when we read the card the other day, the Universal title I just really couldn't give 2 fucks about. I just genuinely can't care. And it's no, let's all hate Roman Reigns. It's the way it's been handled constantly.
And now the fact that he's been phoning it in, that's my problem. It's not his fault that they book him like that. I mean, if you're in his position and they say, we're going to just strap a rocket to your back, here's all your money, you're not going to say no to that.
No, you're not going to say no. And
that's him set for life with this kind of cash.
It's one of the things that they've got to... I think they've got to realise that sometimes... Is it the right guy? Yeah, it could be. Is it done completely wrong? Yes. They fucked it up. The year he almost won the Rumble, the one Batista won, we all cheered him. And then the following year we booed him to fuck because of the way it was handled. Yes. The guy couldn't cut a promo. He was injured. He was still at the 2 minutes.
When Batista won, the crowd were trying to tell the people backstage we don't want part-timers getting this big push because people have worked all year round. And up until the Rumble, Roman's story was great as part of the Shield and the little turnaround and redemption arc that they were doing. That all worked. It was built up. It was the logical next step of the story. by the time the next year it rolled round, he was shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
He was invincible.
And that's...
Now,
sorry, on you go.
See on Sunday, with him and Owens, because we've been seeing these two go at it for 5 months, right? Almost. Me and you know, if anybody who's ever watched a bloody wrestling show knows, Owens isn't winning that properly. There's no tension here. The only way he's going to win is with interference. And he might or might not get it. The only time Roman's lost to him is when there was a 2-on-1 match.
Yeah, and then when you...
even at that was only one of the 2-on-1 matches.
And then when you take, like, so the John Cena AJ Styles, fair enough, Cena's been away, but it was done right. In the meantime, AJ had an amazing feud with Dean Ambrose, to which it was correct for AJ to still hold the belt, and everything's building up, and it's more enjoyable. You're more interested in that title than that Universal title. And again, it's nothing to do with the prestige of the titles. It's the fact that one's done right and how to make that title relevant, whereas the other one, it's the same old shit. It is just the same old shit. Now, the other interesting point is, and you know it's going to happen, dude, I can see it at fucking Mania. I can honestly see it from SmackDown, is JBL and Ziggler. It's happening. It's so fucking... I don't think it is,
because JBL, his back's too messed up.
You think? Aye. The reason the story they're doing, and I'm kind of starting to lose interest quite quick. I'm interested in heel Ziggler. I'm interested in the way they're doing the story, that he's really freed like toys out the pram because he's constantly lost and he's had enough. But this is starting to now play like so when they had Chris Jericho and Mickey Rourke. It's that scenario again, and it's like, can you be fucked seeing this again? And this is 8 years later. Can you be bothered seeing it again? A lot of people might not remember that, but it's a similar idea. It's even a similar...
This is the thing, like, I don't know why they're so scared to repeat things. Jericho and Mickey Rourke was, like, almost 10 years ago now. It was, what, Mania 25?
Aye, 25th.
Right. And now we're on 32 or 33 or whatever 33. It is. Right. It's okay to repeat stuff. Because now, yeah, sure, you've got, like, the likes of us who've watched for a long, long time. But there's a lot of people who haven't, and that'll seem new and fresh to them.
I mean, the thing, it'll probably, because it would feel new and fresh to them. But this is also like a rehash of the Taz and JR.
Yes.
So, and what's that, SummerSlam? I'd like to say 2000.
2002?
It's really early in the 2000s. And it was the King facing him where JR happened with the glass.
Aye.
So...
The Skittles.
Yeah.
Skittles. God damn, I love me some Skittles.
It's the same concept, and do I want to see it again? Nah. But I can understand like people having seen this thing, and it's weird to me because GBL is the heel commentator. But
if you remember back when they did this with Lawler, and it was a couple of times they did it with him, Taz is just one of the most obvious examples. He was always the heel guy. And him and JR would disagree on things in commentary all the time, but the second you fuck with JR, you fuck with Lawler.
I mean, I find it quite hilarious it had to be JBL and no David Otunga.
I don't, because David Otunga can't wrestle.
Oh no, he can't wrestle and he can't call a match. He's fucking useless. He's only relevant because he's wife. But the whole setup of it being JBL, I found weird. Do I want to see it at Mania? No. But
no, I think that would be a bit of a waste of this new direction for Ziggler.
Something will happen at the Rumble, and it will continue to happen in SmackDown as long as they don't fucking overuse it. As long as they don't overuse it.
In between, we've got or between the Rumble and Mania, there is Fastlane for Raw and the Elimination Chamber for SmackDown. So, although we'll maybe find out one half of the main event for Mania, it's really still up in the air as to who that person would then take on. Because chances are that Owens is going to end up dropping that belt and then taking on Jericho, probably for the US belt come Mania time. Conversely, they're going to want Cena to get his 16th title shot, or title run, sorry. Don't know if it's going to be this Sunday he gets it, if it's going to be in the chamber, but it's happening.
I genuinely think, mate, if it doesn't happen this Sunday, it'll happen at Mania. There's no way it's not going to happen.
Well, that would be the common sense approach. And although SmackDown's been better at common sense than Raw,
I think what's
still in charge, because the latest I've been hearing is the Taker's match will be against Reigns.
The thing I want taken for SmackDown is, and that's how, like, the person I want to win, it's all dependent on Cena. This is the thing. It's all dependent. If Cena wins, then I'm more than believe this person could do it. If it happens, I would like to see it. Really like to see it, because there's a vast improvement, compared to when it happened. So that I'd really like to see. If it doesn't, if Cena doesn't win, then you'd guarantee it's going to happen at Mania. It will happen at Mania, and it just depends who will be the champion. I'd still like to see AJ carry it then, as long as it's done right. And what they've been doing is keeping it right, so that's cool with me. SmackDown's got better options, and I'm gutted that come the Royal Rumble there's only one SmackDown match. One.
Yeah, that is a bit weird. That I know it's a thinner roster, and I know that they want to push Raw a bit because of the ratings, but it's just very, very strange. Given,
I've already said it. Do we need Nia Jax and Sasha Banks on the pre-show? No. They could have took a SmackDown team and put them on the pre-show along with the tag champions from Raw. Then it splits it up. Now, if you're looking at the main card, the only SmackDown match is Cena versus AJ, which I think is fucking bullshit. I think it's bullshit. The women's title on SmackDown is far more interesting than the one in Raw.
Yes.
Far more interesting.
But with a much more shallow selection.
Yeah.
Especially with Naomi Hart.
Yeah, that's the thing. The talent pool on SmackDown is very shallow compared to Raw. Considering now, like, Undertaker's probably Raw now, it makes no fucking sense, but hey ho, that's one of these things that Raw like to do, because wrestling fans like to forget shit in a couple of months. Well, young fans do. A lot of us don't. We don't forget. And I'm not interested in seeing Charlotte versus Bayley. No. Sasha versus Bayley, on the other hand, yes. So it's like,
but Sasha will need to be a heel first, because Bayley can't be a heel.
But that won't fucking happen now, it looks like. If they were going to do the turn, they should have done the turn for Sasha weeks ago, and then they could have easily fed that story in. But easily.
This is the problem, though, because Raw has more heels than faces in the women's division that are to be taken seriously.
I mean, like, they're still teasing Emelina for Raw. That's just a running joke now. It's not going to happen. Eva Marie, I cannot see coming back, but she will. But she will, mate, on Raw. So it's open for debate. Should Raw have as many fucking matches as it should on Royal Rumble? I don't think it should, especially how poor it's been.
Well, that's why they're doing it, though. It's like, watch this. This is the important brand. That's why SmackDown's only got this match. Fuck you.
It's and
Trying to, like, as far as they're concerned, Raw has to be the main show. For
oh no, it
reason.
has to be the main show, but does it deserve it?
No, it doesn't.
No.
There's nothing about it. They're on the same network now. It's not like Raw would ever get cancelled unless the ratings absolutely tanked, which will never happen because they've always got their core audience.
Yeah,
I mean, accept that this is how things work.
I mean, it's not even that. They might be low numbers for like viewership if you take the ratings, but the profit they turn over is staggering. So it's not like they're going to lose money over it. And personally, should they be worried about ratings? Well, no, because you're going into right. Fair
and
enough.
If anything, the thing doing the most damage to their ratings is themselves.
Yeah,
the network and YouTube.
They
and
can't.
Facebook.
They can't even put blame on the fact that the Super Bowl's going to come. What's that, a month away?
Why should somebody sit and watch 3 hours, or probably more, the way that they've been doing the overrun of Raw every Monday, when they can get the actual highlights, the important stuff that happened on YouTube in 5 minutes the next morning?
And it's not even that. The last 3 weeks of Raw, take away this week was different, but the last 3 weeks was the exact same. It was the exact same Raw, whereas SmackDown has been continually fresh. I mean, it was a shame we never had that IC match at Royal Rumble. That IC match was brilliant in SmackDown with Dean Ambrose and The Miz.
I know, but that's so that they can both be in the Rumble.
Yeah, I know. But again, it's just like, you remember when they had the brand splits, they split the matches up.
Aye. And that's what you think they would always do. And also, they were never afraid to have people pull double duty.
No.
Which made the Rumble seem that much more important. People were willing to go through hell to get that shot at the world title.
If I remember, what Rumble was it? It was the second John Austin one. If I'm right in saying, was there no an IC match with Ken Shamrock and The Rock on it?
That sounds about right, aye.
That might be the year after. I can't remember. But they two had a match, and then the two of them were in the Rumble.
Aye. Knackered, fighting for that chance.
And Rock finished second. Austin won. So
and it makes it just feel so much of a bigger deal that people are willing to put themselves to that, like drive themselves over the edge to get that world title shot on the biggest stage.
I mean, the winner of the Royal Rumble has to go to a SmackDown worker. It has to be. They have put in a fucking hell of a shift.
You think it would, Raw. But I don't see it being a SmackDown guy.
As long as it's no Goldberg, mate. I genuinely fucking... I know, mate, but see, the worry I've got is it's like they would do it. They would honestly do it.
They probably would, but I don't see it happen. I mean, having a 50-year-old win the Rumble, it's just... That's enough to get a lot of people to actually stop watching.
I mean, it's not even that. It's say for talking sake, he did win the Rumble. And there's no way he could be the final match on WrestleMania. Because it'll be over within 5 minutes.
Oh, it'll just be awful.
You could tell the outcome straight away. And that's how I'm hoping that... well, like I said, depends on the CENA result. But if it goes in the way of CENA, and the person I'm talking about does it, I think it'll be an awesome match.
I hope so. We'll see what happens.
See what happens, but SmackDown done everything right again. It was nothing really to complain about. I'm liking the whole Mickey James thing with Alexa, and it's just a shame we're not getting to see them at all.
Yeah. Aye.
That is frustrating because you're enjoying, there's a new dynamic to it where Nia Jax and Sasha Banks is just the same thing. Nia's still working with jobbers to get that experience, which is fair enough, and having Sasha thrown in, okay, is a good idea, but pre-show? No.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a waste, isn't it?
I mean, let's be honest, who's going to watch the pre-show? I mean, I won't be watching the pre-show because I'm not in the house. If I was in the house, I would have watched the pre-show to watch the matches. But where I'm going will only show the actual Rumble. So
just the 4 hours.
Just the 4 hours, it fucking defeats the purpose. Hence the reason they should have just brought in, have a 6-man SmackDown, heels versus good guys. Okay, that one's done. And then bring in the Raw Tag Team Champions, which personally I think should have been on the main roster than the Cruiserweight Championship. If that was losing the viewership and nobody's interested, why should that get put on the main card?
Why is that one match going to revive the Fox?
Exactly.
Whole show?
Exactly.
It's not going to happen.
Nothing's going to fix that. As much as Neville's perfect for that show, one man will not fix that. This should have been done a long time ago. Like we said it on Tuesday. It should have been put back at NXT Arena and worked from there. But hey ho, what do we know? And that's it. Really, I think it's frustrating, mate. It's frustrating because you watch SmackDown. It was good, entertaining,
and it's doing so well despite WWE trying to work against them.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
and that's what they're doing.
That IC belt match was brilliant. Honestly, if you haven't seen it, I suggest it. Go and watch it.
Really, really good.
There was no. Do you know what we did? There was nothing on that show that I was bored. Whereas like Raw, you can get your moments where you're bored.
SmackDown maximise their time, and everything's always advancing, and always something going on that will hold your attention.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Raw, same routine, week after fucking week, same matches week after fucking week, similar backstage segments. There is nothing unpredictable about Raw, whereas SmackDown has captured that somewhat.
I mean, and I've got to admit, there was one segment I did find funny, I thought would have been fucking awful, but it was James Ellsworth and Carmella. I actually found that funny.
And she turned them into little cats.
It's actually quite funny, and I was like, even when he walks out the turtleneck, hiding his chin, I was like, right, okay, it's funny. That's the thing, and you're like, okay, right. And I'd usually say, Raw, what can you do next week? But I think they'll fuck it up at the Rumble. I'm being honest, dude. I think they will balls it up. I'm 100% certain. Come Sunday night, we're going to talk about Monday one good title match, and the rest were fucking irrelevant. And I believe that about the Rumble as well. I truly believe it.
Well, we'll see.
But
good SmackDown, though.
Good SmackDown. There's nothing much else we can say about it. It was just go and check it out. This could be the shortest podcast ever, but that was the thing. There was nothing bad you could have said about it. And the fact that now that Royal Rumble's really like a couple of days away, the road to WrestleMania has begun, we can't talk about our things. So it's like, yous are going to have to wait. But it's one of those. It is just one of those things, dude. You know yourself. It's like, what else can you say about a good show?
I enjoyed it. And I'm pleased that I enjoyed it.
So I do highly suggest everybody tune in on Saturday to see what the picks are going to be. Any surprises me and Martin might think. Obviously our results are going to go in probably my favour. Actually, no. I think me and you can basically call that card easy call that card. And but like I said, it's a Rumble match. It's a hard one. Usually
that's good.
It's good. Thank fuck, because it's not been like that for a while. And
years. Actually, years.
In the last 3, you could tell who was winning it. So to have it now where it's like, okay, we don't know who's going to win it. It's not the fiasco it was last year and the year before and the year before and the year before. It's something different, and I'm happy with that. I'm looking forward to I'm looking forward to like the podcast on Saturday to discuss who we think should win it,
Yes.
who will win it, any surprises, and basically just shitting on Raw for a bit. I don't know, which
Aye. So tune in for your usual monthly.
your usual Raw podcast, because they've done it themselves. If it was split across the board with certain matches, it would have been cool. But the fact that it's fucking all Raw with one SmackDown match, I don't think it's right. And then what do we get? We get a brown SmackDown to make up for it.
I'm hoping some things are changed up a bit. Like what they're teasing. I know it's probably a tease for Elimination Chamber, and that's why they're having just the one SmackDown match. But I'm actually very interested to see Ziggler and Cruz.
I think it'll be good.
Cruz suddenly has a character.
He's relevant. That's the thing. He's relevant again, and I think
Which would never happen in a million years.
I mean, why not have them in the pre-show?
Elimination Chamber. Excuse me.
I keep it in the chamber.
They're having to build for that because it's only 2 weeks.
Keep it in the chamber. Aye, it's like, there you go. We've fixed that pre-show with probably 2 matches, and it makes more sense than having a feud that I've really took nothing to do with.
Like I say, this is just a panic reaction to Raw tanking, whereas what the right reaction would be to change the fucking format. But we'll talk about that probably on Saturday over and over.
Yeah. So everyone, thank you for tuning in for the SmackDown podcast. For Smacked Up Wrestling, the show was good. You'll see what we're talking about if you go and watch the show, if you can. You'll see the points we're making, why it just beats Raw again. There's nothing bad you can really say. It didn't drag on. The matches were good. It was good wrestling. The IC belt with the Ambrose and the MIZ was good. Lumberjack, really good. And that was that. Like 3 matches. Well, the Randy Orton one was good as well. Actually, sorry, I forgot about that Randy Orton match just till there. And I like the story they're doing. Really enjoying it.
Absolutely.
Tell me another story.
And I'm hoping that this leads to something good for Luke Harper.
So they are. Tell me another good story in Raw. There's I've gave you Randy Orton's, Cena's, and Dean Ambrose.
As well
with
as
the
Becky,
Miz and Becky.
Yeah,
even the Nikki Bella stuff. That was fucking good.
Right.
And they're keeping it real because it is relevant. Nikki Bella really only got famous because of John Cena. It's not a word of a lie.
It wasn't because of Cena. It was for being a whore.
That's right. She
got Cena after.
That's right.
Cena's why she came back.
She was with Ziggler, wasn't she?
And Johnny Ace, and imagine that family dinner. By the way, all these stories of the naked in a hot tub with Johnny Ace, and who's their father-in-law now?
Oh, I know. And I find that quite funny that like all the exes are on SmackDown.
Well, that's another thing. I know the Spirit Squad have kind of vanished. They might show up at the Rumble, who knows? But now Mickey James and Cena had a very public thing. That's why Kenny for the Spirit Squad was fired, because he was engaged to Mickey at the time. They all got put on the same show. But funnily enough, Cena returns and the Spirit Squad vanish. What a coincidence!
Same with Mickey James showing up and the Spirit Squad vanishes.
Aye, exactly.
So it's quite funny. But no, people, I really recommend go and watch the match. Go and watch the matches. You'll see what we're talking about, and then you'll see why you were calling basically that card bullshit. The card can change. They could add an extra match, possibly. But if they don't...
Well, they're going to be adding some stuff, because it's a fucking 4-hour show, which means you're going to have a 3-hour normal pay-per-view and an hour for the Rumble match.
Mm-hmm. They need to add an extra SmackDown match.
We'll see what happens.
There
might be something announced by Saturday.
But everyone, thank you for listening once again to the Smacked Up Wrestling podcast. All the information where you can follow me, Martin, is down below. You can follow us on Twitter. We've got our own Smacked Up Wrestling podcast Twitter account, which is SU Wrestle. Everything's down below. You can follow us on Facebook. Leave us a like in this video. Tell us what you thought of SmackDown. Do you agree or disagree? Tell us what your picks are going to be for the Rumble. Any surprises you think. Come Saturday, that is prediction show. So me and Martin will be recording early just to get everything up. So then we've got plenty of time to have plenty of discussions. Because it is the most predictable Royal Rumble. Unpredictable. I said predictable. Well, the matches before it is the unpredictable Royal Rumble we've had in a long time. So this is going to be really interesting, especially for the first Royal Rumble podcast. I think it's going to be interesting. And so everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for another week of your time. This has been the Smacked Up Wrestling Podcast. I've been Will.
I've been trying to think of creative ways to punch Marguerite Baker in the face.
Resi reference.
That bitch is coming out of there.
Everyone, thank you. You'll catch you on Saturday for the prediction show. Be sure to watch that. That will be good. Thank you for listening.
Cheerio.